Okay, so I just want to start by giving an overview of who IN is, why we're offering this presentation and this webinar specifically to hear from our graduates, students that have gone through our programs. So my name is Shayna Lang. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator for IN, Pathways to Inclusive Higher Education. And IN is a nonprofit that supports inclusive college programs for students with intellectual disabilities all across the state of Colorado. And the programs that we support by advocating and doing education and outreach are focused on helping students with intellectual disabilities be able to experience academic growth, social development, career advancement, and overall independence. So you're going to hear those pieces, those pillars that we talk about a lot, be at the core of what our panelists share with us this evening. So IN, as a nonprofit, we do a lot of education and outreach in our communities to help students and their families know that college is a possibility for them. We work on expansion, developing more programs, and we also work to track student success. So things like this, where we're hearing from students that have completed our programs and seeing what has college really meant for them and how has it impacted their futures. So this is a quick picture of our small but mighty team, our executive director, Tracy, and then again, myself, Shayna Lang. Really encourage you, those that are tuning in with us and just learning more about inclusive higher ed, encourage you to reach out to me. I want to be available to you and offer any resources or answer your questions as best as possible. So let's dive into what our game plan is for the next hour. So I would love, we're going to have a total of 5 alumni with us, students that have graduated from our programs. And I would love for anybody else that's joining us to just hop into the chat and let us know your name and kind of what your role is. Are you a teacher? Are you a parent? And really what you're hoping to learn from our alumni. I think that's just going to give us a good gauge for how to navigate and kind of lead our panel. So if you guys are able to do that, I encourage you to do that now as I go through the rest of our overview and housekeeping. So this is really going to be focused on our panelists. So I'm going to give a quick overview of what inclusive higher education is, try to giving you guys just a foundation, but then it's going to be driven by our panelists, where I'm going to ask them specific questions as we go and really allow them to share their stories. I encourage you guys to use the chat as we go through to ask questions. I'll be keeping my eye on that so that we can address those as they come. And then as our panelists are sharing, we just ask that everybody else is able to mute themselves just to help with some of our video and recording. So let me take a quick peek at our chat. Lois, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Student at MSU. Awesome, studying special education. And a parent to 2 kids with learning disabilities. Wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning in and learning a bit more about our work. Yeah, we just encourage you guys to keep on jumping in there, letting us know who you are so that we can address your specific needs. But right now, as I mentioned, I'm going to do a brief overview for us. We're going to do introductions of our panelists, and then they're going to be able to answer questions surrounding their current employment, their current level of independence and how they're navigating life after college. And then they're also going to talk to us about their social engagement. We're talking about those 3 pieces because we believe that college prepared them for all of those, and everybody's outcomes are going to be a little bit different. So we want them to share how they've navigated those pieces since completing these programs. And then we'll open it up to questions from our guests and allow our panelists to share anything else that they wanted to share, particularly landing with a tip about how to encourage students with intellectual disabilities that have gone to college. What are some tips that you have for them about navigating life after college? So wonderful to hear from our other guests, also from MSU. I love that. Hoping to learn more about opportunities for life after graduations for students with disabilities. Perfect. You are in the right spot. So let me give you guys a quick overview, and then we'll let our panelists do the talking. Alrighty, so inclusive higher education, this is a particular type of service that's available for students with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So those are students that traditionally do not meet college entry criteria. So students that are coming from special education backgrounds on an IEP through most of their K-12 experience, that traditionally when we look at what happens after those students complete high school, they're either funneled right into a day program, or maybe it's just transitioning to living at home and not working at all. And so we said with inclusive higher education, there needs to be options for these students to go to college and experience the holistic growth that happens at the college level like any other student, and we don't want them to be limited from being able to be admitted to college. So inclusive higher education programs were developed specifically for that population of students. So that means that they're not offered at all institutions. They're only at institutions that say, we want to serve this group of students. And what they do is they offer an alternative acceptance or admission criteria. So students don't have to meet your traditional GPA, SAT, ACT scores, even your diploma. They essentially just need to prove that they're a student with an intellectual disability that has a desire to learn new skills and develop skills for a more meaningful job, and that they need additional supports at the college level. So students in these programs are going to be pursuing a certificate credential rather than your traditional bachelor's degree. That's because they're going to have access to a few more supports, including modifications. So students in these programs are able to modify their coursework to reach their cognitive level, but still being challenged on a regular basis to build the skills that they need for employment. And then they're going to have more intensive support from staff members, and that's going to focus around academic support, social engagement, independent living support, and also job preparation, where they're going to have job development over the course of their time at these programs. And the biggest thing that I love to hit on is that these are not just special education courses on a college campus. These are fully included students. So they are coming in and they're taking courses alongside their neurotypical peers. They get to choose classes from the catalog as any other student would, and they get to really hone in on what they want to learn and what they want to study to help set them up for success in their future. So there's 4 particular domains that I've been chatting about that offer support within inclusive higher education programs. So real quick, at the academic level, I mentioned students are fully included in courses. They have access to accommodations and modifications. They're going to pursue a certificate where it's accredited by the institution. They're getting a transcript, they're getting graded, but it's at their level. And they're able to pursue any courses in their course catalog and really be held to high standards. At the social level, they have full campus engagement. They've got peer mentors that can go with them to classes or events and support them in a natural way, and really empowered to take on leadership opportunities at their institution. For career development, they're going to have a progression over time of career exploration, on-campus job experiences, and then off-campus paid employment, and really developing skills over time to be able to attain and maintain the job they want in the future. And then independence. Our students also have access to support for living on campus, living amongst their neurotypical peers and having peer mentors come and support them. They also are going to have person-centered planning, self-advocacy support, and just lots of guidance around what are your goals and what is your self-determination for your future. So the 4 schools that have these programs in the state of Colorado are listed on the screen. So we've got Elevate at ACC, which is our community college program. So that doesn't have residential living, but that is a 3-year program where students pursue a certificate in their area of study. UCCS in Colorado Springs, and that's where, Elnaz is from ACC. I'll kind of give a shout out to our students as they're on here. Brianna is from UCCS, and Ben, as he joins in a little bit later. So that is a 4-year program with on-campus apartment options for students out in Colorado Springs. And then UNC, that is where Noah and Paige are from, and that is a 4-year program as well with on-campus dorm options for students. And then Regis is brand new, so we don't have any graduates from them, but they exist here in Denver as well. And they offer a 1 to 2-year certificate program for our students. And all of them are what we call CTP status, that designation down at the bottom of the screen, where students have access to financial aid using a FAFSA in order to access financial aid for these programs. And if you guys have questions about the financial viability of these programs, I have a few other webinars. I also have some handouts I'm happy to share with you. So feel free to reach out to me via email and I'll pass those along. But really that CTP status means that these programs have reached or met a criteria of criteria that show that they're fully inclusive, that they're really leading to meaningful outcomes for our students. And then they're all pursuing a consistent certificate across all these programs, so it's transferable. And we call that the Comprehensive Higher Education Certificate, and it's approved at the Colorado Department of Higher Education level. So, with all of that in mind, we really our focus for today, as you guys are hearing from our panelists, is to talk through with those wonderful programs that we've had since 2016 in Colorado. We're expanding to more. We're serving 75 plus students with intellectual disabilities each year. What's really the outcomes that we're seeing? And so I'm giving you a picture of a few of the outcomes that we're seeing across the state. Some employment outcomes that you guys won't hear from our panelists today include someone that was hired as a paraeducator full-time with benefits back home after completing her certificate, somebody who's working in graphic design. We have several students working in hospital settings. Jasmine is particularly working in a nutrition department. And then we also have students pursuing really unique outcomes like athletic support at a university and a college here in Colorado and offering some support to their teams. We're also seeing outcomes in independence, including living alone and living with roommates, but also just navigating transportation in their communities and just really growing in overall independence as soon as they graduate college. And then we also have some social outcomes that we're seeing. All of our graduates are welcome, and a lot of them participate in our Alumni Association, where we gather a couple times a year just as alumni across the state of Colorado to talk about what life is like and catch up. We have a young professional board that some of our alumni are on. And then we're just seeing lots of organic connections where our students develop the social skills in college and have now just have confidence in navigating their social life outside of college. So those are kind of the exciting outcomes that we really want to speak to. Again, if you guys have questions about inclusive higher education in general, we'll have some times for open Q&A at the end, but I want to turn it over to our panelists and allow them to introduce themselves to you. So I can kind of call on you guys one at a time, but I would love for you to share your name, what school and what program you graduated from, what you studied, and then what is your favorite memory from college overall? Just kind of jog our memory. I know, Brianna, you were eating, but did you still want to go first for us?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead and answer those questions for us.
Hello, wonderful people. My name is Brianna Kimball. I graduated from USDCS in May of 2022. And what did I study? I studied public communications that goes with public relations is what I'm going to say. And then my favorite thing about college is the events that they hosted for a homecoming and for the and for everything that I did there. And I was a tour guide, and I started that 2019. So it was pretty cool, and it was awesome. No complaints, no mistakes, and yeah, it was really good, and I enjoyed being there. So yeah, it feels bittersweet and sad to not be there.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Brianna. All right, I'm gonna have Elnaz for ACC go next for me.
Well, hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Elnaz. The school program I graduated from was ACC Elevate. What I studied was business. It took me a long time to study that because I had to take a bunch of classes, including science, computer classes, and a bunch of things. My favorite memory from college would be just going out, eat, and then go to clubs with my friends. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Elnaz. Noah from UNC, you are up, sir.
All right. I'm Noah. I went to UNC and I graduated from the GO program, and I studied communications. And my favorite thing from going to UNC was going to the sporting events.
That would be fun. All right, and Paige, I saw you were able to jump in. Paige is also from UNC. Are you able to answer these questions for us?
Yes, I believe so. I'm trying to add you guys on my computer. That way I can see you guys a little bit better.
Awesome. Thanks for navigating that.
You're welcome. I'm sorry. I just got home from work and everything is just, crazy a little bit. But yes, my name is Paige Gray. I went to UNC for 4 years. And I study early childhood care, and I graduated from there. And I guess I like the activities they do up there. Try to get involved them and go to them. And I like the sport event too. So
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. That is pretty common that when we ask students their favorite memories or favorite parts, it's not all of the classes you took, but it's all the fun outings that you guys had. So I love that. Okay, team. Well, we would want to start with talking about your employment right now. So we have a couple of questions that I want you guys to think about and share with us. The first one is, what are you doing for work right now? Can you tell us, after graduating from those programs, after having all that support, what's the job that you've been able to land? And then if you can let us know, is that your forever job? Is that something you want to continue doing, or is that just kind of your starting point? Because I think it's pretty typical for any student graduating from college to have some stepping stones along the way to get to their ultimate goal. And so it's good for us to acknowledge that. And then I want us to talk about, how did college actually prepare you for the job that you're experiencing now? So we don't have to go in all the same orders. It's totally up to you, but would love for one student or one alumni to go answer through these questions at a time, and then we'll move on to the next one. So does anybody want to start first? Elnaz?
I will go first.
Oh, Elnaz beat you with the raised hand. I'll have you go next, okay?
So
We'll start with Elnaz.
what do I do for work? I'm actually working at as a HR assistant in corporate office in ARC, which is a place where they help with inclusive higher educations to get a job, and they're very nice people. And that's a job I would like to keep for a long time because they're very amazing team members, and I don't want to quit the job. And
Yeah,
how
and
did
you
it
just
come?
mentioned, Elnaz, right? You've been moving up even in that job. So you started, what was your role
Yes.
that you started at, and where are you at now?
It was just a training at the beginning, just to get me going and everything. Then they're like, okay, let's just have her do different things and then see where she's gonna sit up. And then I just did a lot of good things. So they just having me go back and forth with HR assistant and then help out with the ambassador programs, all of that.
Awesome, awesome.
And how did the college prepare me? Well, it was mostly Jennifer from Elevate program. She got me going to the high school in Littleton, and then she had me do a couple of, things in there. And then finally, Tracy, the person who works with you, she contacted Lloyd and said that Elnaz would like to work at your office setting. And then he agreed that that'd be a good idea.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So, and I threw in another question down at the bottom, where you kind of spoke to that a bit, where you had some job support during your time at college. And then how did you get connected to this job after college? Did you use DVR? Did you just use family connections? What was that like?
I did use a DVR. And then I also got a help from Jennifer, connect me over to Tracy, and then Tracy contacted Lloyd, and then that's how it went.
Awesome. Awesome. And for those that are joining us, the DVR is the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, a federal level organization that supports individuals with disabilities receiving or pursuing employment. So they work with them really closely to offer some guidance, connect them with the right jobs. So DVR is a really great support for students during their time in our programs, but also afterwards. So that's awesome to hear on this. Brianna, are you ready to answer your questions?
Yeah, so can you remind me what we're talking about?
Yeah. What do you do for work right now? What's your job?
I work at a Mexican restaurant called Zazon, which is 8 minutes away from my new apartment.
Yes.
And I love it. And the inn people hosted the event there, and I ordered, watermelon fresca, and I ordered, guacamole and all that other stuff. And I thought that it was, really, really good. And I've been working there since June 13th.
And what's your role there, Brianna?
I am a greeter there.
Yeah. And didn't you just recently receive a really big compliment from a guest of how welcoming you made them feel?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So my question for you, Brianna, because you studied, remind us what you studied at UCCS.
What did I study?
Communication?
I think I already told you, right?
Yeah. Was it communication? Am I remembering that correctly?
Oh yeah, public communications, and that
Okay.
goes with public relations goes with public communications. So it's
Gotcha.
all that.
So I'm curious, you're able to use those skills during using those skills at your job right now, but do you want to work at Saison forever, or do you have another career goal in mind?
I want to work there forever because the coworkers and my bosses are extremely grateful at everything that they do, and I think they're awesome to work with. And I'm still going to continue to work there for, gosh, another long time. So it's
Awesome.
really great.
Cool. I love that. Well, and how would you say that college prepared you for the job that you're doing right now?
I would say that college, well, my parents were fighting for me to attend college, but basically if any college, student is done and they graduate, and I think it's just important to think about what kind of job you want to do and what kind of like a job coach you want to find. And I think people from high school to college should definitely do that, because they help you do like mock interviews and just interview questions and stuff like that. And you have to keep practicing and just try your best to suck it up and tell your gut that you can do it without giving up. So that's what I would say to all the high school students and to the middle school students and to the people in college. So I think it's the best fit for all of them. And you can and of course you can do like Zoom calls with them, and they will call you sometimes, and all of that too. So
very cool. So you got lots of good support as you were preparing for employment. I love that. Awesome. Okay, Noah, can you fill us in? What is your job, and is that your forever job? What do you want to do?
I work at the Go program, and that's going to be like my long-term job.
And what's your title?
Outreach ambassador.
What does that mean, Noah? Tell us what that means.
I guess I help you like students that are coming into college and thinking about coming to college.
Yeah, I'm showcasing a picture of you while you were on the job.
Yeah, it was.
So Noah came back to work for the GOLD program at UNC and is specifically supporting the incoming class. So the freshman students with intellectual disabilities, guiding them through that first year, which includes you co-teaching a class, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then do you do some advising with them, some one-on-one meetings?
Not really, no.
Okay, more group stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And so you want to do that long term, is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. And then how would you say that your time at UNC Goal when you were a student, how did that prepare you for this job?
I guess it was like going to like new student orientations and meeting the new students as they get along.
Yeah, yeah. And what about during your time there? Did you have jobs on campus before you graduated?
I had one job on campus.
Okay, what was that?
I was working with the athletics department, so I was with Claus the entire time.
Awesome. Okay. And then after graduation, how did you decide, or how did you land the job to be working as an ambassador?
James brought it up to me and he quickly explained like what it was, and I was like, immediately just got hooked to it.
Yeah, awesome. So James is one of the staff members at UNC Goal. So I think that's such a wonderful natural connection that you had. Thanks, Noah.
You're welcome.
All right, Paige, you are up, and I think you got connected with your computer. Is that right?
Yes, finally I did.
Awesome. So Paige, can you tell us what you're doing for work right now?
Okay, so work for me right now, I'm working at Ford Elementary School. I am helping with their after school program. They have the name of it is called Fox Stars. That's when they can sign up the kids, and when the parents have to work late and can't be home quite yet, they can come to us for a bit. and we do a lot of fun things with them. So one thing we do is like kindergarten for squirrel will go eat snack first, and then the second the adults will go in the gym and run around, get their energy out. And if it's nice out, we went outside and ate snack outside and have them play a little bit longer. And then when we have done with snacks, they can go back in the gym or play in the cafeteria. And so we have a lot of things we can do with them. And then we had this thing called non-student days. So that is when the kids will come to us and not go to class. And so that is a work day for the student, but not the student, oh my goodness, the teachers. And that way they can get a lot of their work done and try to prepare themselves to when the kids come back to them. And then we will take them on field trips. So
Very fun. So you studied early childhood education and now you're working really regularly with young kiddos. So is that something that you want to do long term? Is that the job you wanted to land?
it's a job for me right now, but no, it won't be my long top job yet. I have a lot of opportunity that I want to explore with and see if I'm good for it. And see if I want to just work at a different school or different place. So I can just see myself working different place too. So
Awesome. Cool. I love that you're not gonna stay. You want to keep on growing, keep on moving.
yeah.
So real quick, Paige, what would you say? How did your time at UNC and your time in college, how did that prepare you for the work that you're doing now or the work that you're gonna do in the future?
I guess that UNC had a great it I learned a lot of in my classes up there that they were preparing me for, and it was really fun to see. And so I learned a lot in my classes about it and helped me prepare myself when I was coming back home and
Mhm.
got this job. So
Awesome. Very cool. Well, and one thing, thank you all for sharing that. And I wanted to add to one thing that these programs include. So students take typically 2 traditional classes where they're fully included from that course catalog in their area of study each semester. And then there's also a direct instruction class or a specialized course where the program staff will teach students, job readiness skills, resume development, all of those pieces a little bit more directly. So all of these students have gotten some of that extra guidance in how to be ready for employment. So I love that you guys have all landed jobs that you're really enjoying and you want to continue growing in them. I think that is so exciting. So, did I bypass one? I bypassed one. Okay, so now let's talk independence. That's kind of our employment piece, but a lot of what you guys learned was how to be an independent young adult, whether that's living or just being out in the community. So let's talk a bit about that, about where do you guys live now? Are you independent in that or how have you grown in that? And is that your long-term placement? And how did college prepare you for that? And if you had any experiences that you wanted to share. So Brianna, do you want to go first this round?
Yeah.
All right. Where are you living now? What's your living situation?
I live right next to the RTD light rail. It's called Lone Tree Railway, Colorado. So I love it. It's a good apartment, and my parents have been, keeping me company and, all that too. So it's really, really great.
But just to clarify, you're living on your own, correct? No roommates. You're living on your own in your own apartment.
Yes.
Awesome. And when did you make that shift? When did you move to living independently?
I think 2 months ago.
Awesome. So do you feel like that's going to be a good spot to land for the long term?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so tell us a bit about how your time at UCCS helped you prepare to be able to live independently now. Did you have some experience doing that during your time in college?
How to help me prepare? Like, what do you mean?
Like, how did you learn skills of how to live on your own? Or maybe when you were living with roommates, how did you learn to navigate that? What were some ways that you were developing independence to be able to live on your own now?
I felt like having a roommate for me was the right fit for me when I was, at USCCS, and everybody was really, fantastic and all that. So yeah.
Very cool. So did you live on campus all 4 years that you were at UCCS, Brianna?
5 years.
5 years. Okay, cool. So you got that experience with support for a long while, and now you have the skills to do it on your own.
Yeah, and I did take the semester off too when I was at UCCS. So Christy lets me do that, and that was very, very awesome and relaxing too. So
Awesome. Cool. Well, we're super proud of you. And you live with, there's several other individuals that have graduated from our inclusive higher education programs that live in her same apartment complex. So that you kind of are reliving your college dorm life, which I think is so fun.
yeah.
Awesome. All right. Noah, let's have you jump in next.
I live at the Verge, which is like a 5-minute drive to the campus.
Awesome. And so tell us a little bit about your independence level. Are you living on your own, with roommates, with family?
I'm living with roommates right now.
And how's that going?
It's going good. Sometimes we pick on each other once in a while.
That's pretty normal, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So tell us a little bit, when you graduated from UNC, did you immediately go and live independently, or did you go home and live with family for a little bit?
Wait, what was the question?
Did you immediately live independently once you graduated, or did you go home and live with family for a little?
I went home and lived with my family for a little bit before I came back up here.
Okay. Yeah. And then so how long did it take you to navigate the system of living on your own after that?
Very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Why was that? Why do you think that was easy for you?
Because like my parents would take cruises like when I was living at home, and I would have some like independence to myself and start working on it.
Very cool. Okay. And was there anything in your time at college, living on the college campus, that you feel like this really helped you prepare to live independently?
It really did. Like it gave me like some more experience to like move around and navigate the campus as well.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Thanks, Noah.
Welcome.
Okay, Elnaz, I'm going to jump to you. Tell us your living situation.
Well, I'm actually looking currently for apartment, and my dad, just as I was speaking, he went to see apartment for me down in Dry Creek Road. And then I did get one that I actually put the offer for, and I actually got approved. So I might be moving in soon.
Yeah, so right now you're living with your family, but you're
Yes.
prepping to live independently. Congratulations on that. That's really
And
exciting.
I also got the employee of the month last month.
Heck yes, you're doing it all. So, okay, Elnaz is unique in that her college experience didn't have on-campus living. So how did you develop independent skills during college without that piece?
Well, being engaged, it's something that really got me to be independent. Like, got me, hey, Elnaz, we need to do all of these chores, and going with him and hanging out with him, knowing that what he's doing, I kind of pick up some stuff that he does. And that's how I learned to be independent.
Yeah, awesome. So kind of naturally with your relationships, which is really great. Did you talk about independent living much in your specialized course at ACC, or not so much?
You did, like the money management situations where they talk about like, hey, how you guys can keep your money instead of like wasting it on something you guys don't need. Was it like a need or is it a want? That's what we were like talking about mostly.
Awesome. Okay, so you learned some money management things, which is so essential when we're looking at living on our own, right? I'm sure you all know that, but very cool, Elnaz. Well, thank you for sharing that. Paige, I'll have you jump in. Can you tell us a bit about your living situation?
So yes, it's kind of complicated right now, but I am working on it. So right now I am home, living with my family, and I'm going to move into an apartment with my friend. She's going to be my roommate. Because I enjoy a roommate that way can get me out and do things.
Mhm.
And I enjoy living on my own too, but I get lonely. So me and my friend will move into Portola. It's in Southwind. They having finish a new company to work with them. So everything online is offline right now.
Oh no, so it's
uh,
taken a while.
so it's taking a little bit of while, but me and my mom went visit them today and asked them like what's going on? Why is everything is offline right now for it? And
Mhm.
they explain it to us. So my friend, she has her own apartment right now. I think we are moving in to our new apartment together in January, June
Okay,
1st, I think.
June
Uh,
1st. Okay.
yeah. And so right now, her roommate that she has is not a good roommate. So her roommate was doing walking through her new place that she's going to get, and she hasn't moved out yet. And so when she does that, she's going to um be there until her lease is up, and
Gotcha.
then
And
we
then
will
you'll
move
move in.
in. Yeah.
Oh,
So
well, that's exciting that that's on the horizon. Can you tell us a little bit about how you experienced living independently when you were at UNC? What was that like for you?
it was so cool. I didn't have that opportunity before. And so I live in Tona Hall. So my first year, I think my uh my and then my second year. And then third year and my fourth year, I moved. Well, my senior year, I think, or my junior year, I can't remember which one. I moved off campus. And so it was nice, but I was in an apartment. I kind of feel like it was an apartment. And so we were like, me and my roommate were like living with each other, and it was so nice because both of us had our own room and we can do whatever we want. We don't think in our dreams or something like that. And
Awesome.
so my first year, I was living in Turner Hall, and that was great. I know the uh Turner Hall like living thing going. And I'm like, okay, I'm sick of this. Let's go somewhere else.
Awesome. You're like, get me off campus.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
I had a problem with a roommate my
Mhm.
first year. My my yeah. I can't talk tonight.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, and I kind of wanted to direct this to Paige. So I love that you had a few experiences. So you had on-campus experiences and then you had off-campus experiences, all while still being at UNC and being able to have the support and guidance of the staff. So that's so cool that you were able to navigate roommate conflicts because it happens, right? You'll probably have that with your new roommate. So that's so cool that you had those experiences to kind of build up those skills. And now you're going to be ready to move in with a roommate in June. That's so exciting.
I did have a couple issues with my roommate my first year,
Yeah.
It go very well. So it wasn't pretty, but I handled it and I got through it.
Yep.
And like it was time for me to get off campus.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm ready in my other years and I got off campus, but it was nice because I was still close to campus too. And so I can walk on campus. I can walk back to my place off campus. So
Perfect. You had it living the dream, Paige. I love that.
Yes.
Well, it's so cool to hear from each of you about where you're kind of at in that independent living journey. So it's cool that you're all at different places, maybe living with roommates for a long time or just starting or about to. So that's encouraging that you guys all have those skills. So let's jump into our last section, which is social life, right? There is so much of college that was developing you to be able to engage socially with your peers and just feel like you're a part of the community. So sometimes after college, that can feel really overwhelming. So I want to hear from you guys on how that's going. So let me start with Noah this time around. Noah, can you tell me how you're engaging with friends or the community now that you're done with college?
Um, Usually, well, once in a while, me and James like will go bowling with a couple of his buddies and just have some fun.
Cool. So do you feel like you still maintain a lot of the same social interaction that you had during college?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And how do you feel like you were prepared during college to be able to, I don't know, build your community and be a part of it?
Like going to like all the social events that we had like on campus, and I can make some friends there as well.
Cool. Awesome. Would you say that your primary way to engage socially now is through like sports with your friends? Is that kind of the main go-to?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anything else about how you've been able to connect with your friends outside of college that you want to share?
Um, I have like a group chat with the people that I graduated from college.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Staying
Yeah.
up to date with each other. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's do Brianna. What's your social life like these days, Brianna?
I hang out with our friends and hang out with my family and did tons of clothes shopping for a vacation. So
There you go. How do you feel like you prepared? Like, how did college prepare you to be able to be a part of your community and build those social experiences?
just by being out in the community and, being in a social life and, being out with friends and just do what I got to do,
Yeah, just jump in. I love that. Has there been anything in particular about having friends living in your apartment complex that's made that easy?
Oh yeah, it's been really easy, not hard, not different cults, but it's been really good.
Very cool. Okay, is there anything you want to share about how you've been able to connect with your friends post-college?
Post college, I would say like me and Nick and Ben, and I don't know, just those other two. So
Yeah, and those are students that you graduated with from UCCS, right?
yes,
Yeah,
correct.
so that's cool. So there's been some ongoing community there. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Paige, what about you? What is social life like now? Oh, you are muted, my friend. Sorry, should have caught that
Thank
earlier.
you. I didn't know I was remove myself. Oops.
That's okay.
So it's way different than college now. And it's a little bit difficult too.
Yeah.
Um, I am trying to, because a lot of me and my friend don't stay in touch like when we were in college. We go our separate ways when we got out of college. So like most of us will talk and most of us won't. And that's totally fine. And so I thought like, oh, okay, this is going to be really tough now because I'm an adult and I'm trying to do adult stuff and I try to plan ahead of doing things with friends.
Mm.
It's just difficult to make new friends right now. I get
Totally.
I get nervous when I make new friends and like I might want to stay home and not do anything. And it's just like those will that fear will kick into me and like, okay, I feel nervous. What do I do?
Mm.
um, but a lot of me and my friend will get together and just hang out and do things, invite them if they want to come over for dinner and just hang out and just catch up too.
Yeah. I love that. Well, Paige, I think that is so important for us to acknowledge that sometimes after these college experiences where you have all of your community together, it can feel kind of overwhelming to navigate community. So that's really normal. And I'm proud of you for persevering. I think that's really cool. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. Elnaz, tell me about you. What does social life and connection look like you post college?
Well, yeah, that's kind of a tough question. We have like a group chat, just like knowing them, like we just talk and everything, and then like we figure out like a places to go to, like if, like for example, someone's birthday is coming up, we just go hang out at the places for someone's birthday, or we go bowling, dinner, lunch, sometimes Starbucks, depends on the schedules of all of us, like when it's working out. Sometimes like we just go see a movie. It's like it depends.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's cool that you're still staying in contact with a lot of your friends from your time at ACC. I love that. Well, those were really our big categories that I wanted you guys to speak into. So we have all of these students that have graduated from inclusive higher education. Alna is this really fuzzy photo, but of you on graduation day, where they are, employed in jobs that they love, living independently or preparing to live independently, engaging with their community. And it's so exciting. So for those of us that are tuning in, I just wanted to open up some space for you to ask questions directly of our alumni. If you want to, you can unmute yourself and ask. Or if you have just a general question about inclusive higher education, I'm happy for either myself or for them to answer those general questions as well. So we'll give just a few minutes for you guys to ask us questions that pop up.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Lois, and my question for you guys is, did you know in high school that you wanted to go to college, or is this something you weren't sure you wanted to do and found out about the program and fell into it? Because that's what usually happens to me. Find out, I was like, oh, I want to go do that. So I'm just curious of how people find out about the program, and is this something that introduced you in high school?
Good question. Paige, I saw you unmute yourself. Do you want to answer that?
Yes, I can. So after high school, I did not know what I was going to do at all. I didn't know I can have that opportunity to have the experience of college. I had this program I went before I went to college called Transitions. That program will help you to get ready to go to college or get you ready for your when you're living at home too in life. I didn't know if I could go to college at all. I did not know if I can do it. I didn't know that they had a program up there or not. So I found out about UNC. We look online. My parents were asking me where I wanted to go. Do I want to stay in state? Do I want to go out state? And I told them that I want to stay in state. And they say, that's awesome. You want to stay in state. Do you want to go to college? And I told them, like, yes, I do want to go to college. I want to see if I can have this experience as everybody else does. And I enjoyed the experience. And me and my parents went up to UNC to go check it out and see if it will be a good fit for me. And we got a tour of the campus and see everything. You see the buildings that you will be in for your college. And I did an interview with James and those guys to see if I will get into UNC. And so they sent us a letter saying, graduation, you got in UNC. And my face showed like, huh? I didn't know if I would make it or not. And they say, you did it. I'm like, oh, yay. And then I got excited. The best thing to do is go up to the college that you want to go to, because it will make it a lot easier on you to figure if you want to go there or not. To just check it out and see what you are looking for in college, or if it will be a good fit for you.
Awesome. Paige, thank you for such a great answer. And I think that was so robust. I love it. I couldn't have done any better.
Thank you.
I think a good encouragement. So a couple of things that I heard you say was looking online. So In Houses, supports all of these programs in the state of Colorado. So you can always hop on inclusivehighered.org to see what programs exist in Colorado. But there's also a great organization called thinkcollege.net. They have a map of all of the programs across the US. So that's a great place to kind of dig into. And then, Paige, I love your recommendation to give a call and go visit those schools and start to dig a bit. So Lois, did that answer your question? Perfect. Awesome. Are there any other questions coming up? And I want to pronounce it Kiana. I don't know if I'm getting that right, but you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask as well. And I'll keep an eye on this chat.
That's correct.
Perfect.
So my question was, if you were given the opportunity, would you want to pursue more courses in higher education?
Good question. Elnaz, go for it.
What I understood about Jennifer was that once you graduate from the program, you're no longer allowed to grab any other classes that are for the special education. So for disability people. So what I understood is that you could be a regular student in the college and continue the education, but not the disability program. That's what I understood.
Yeah, that's fair. So with these particular inclusive higher education programs, once you complete a certificate, that's completion of that program and all the supports that it comes with. And so you could then enroll in the institution in the traditional route and take more classes. And maybe Kiana's asking, if you guys had the chance to take more than just those few courses you were taking, would you want to? Elnaz is shaking her head. No. Tell us why.
Because I had a lot in my plate in college. I basically got to be a president of Elevate club and just a senior year of my college. So I was dealing with a lot of dramas and everything. It was kind of hard. And then I had to pass all these tests, all these quizzes, all these classes. I'm like, am I ever going to be done with this? Am I ever going to be stop crying and just sleep one night without knowing if I'm going to pass the class or not?
Yeah, and I think, Elnaz, that's really good to hear, because these students in these programs are only taking 2 academic courses per semester, but because they're being challenged way more than they were in their K-12 Bye, Brianna. I see you're heading out. Thank you so much. It takes a lot of time to engage in those courses well. So I think that amount of coursework is really beneficial for this particular population. So, but good question. Awesome. Okay, we've got people dipping out right at 6 o'clock. So I just want to offer, if you guys, Lois and Kiana, or anybody else that's tuning into this recording, if you guys have any more questions specifically for graduates, feel free to send me an email and I will track them down and get you answers. Or if you want to talk more about inclusive higher education, let's connect. I'm also happy to share our overview of inclusive higher education with you. I'm going to send out these slides just so you guys can see, because there's a few links here at the back of just some great resources to continue learning about inclusive higher education, learning about our graduates. So you'll have access to that and I'll be sending it your way this evening. So those of you that have to head out, feel free to do it. Thank you so much, alumni. You guys are the best. I appreciate you giving me an hour of your time. And then I will hang tight for a couple more minutes if anybody else has questions.
Just want to say thank you, especially to, our panelists for sharing their experiences. It was really, really nice to hear straight from the source about what they were working on and how it was for them. So thank you. Thanks, Noah.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you for sharing. It was great to hear from you all.
You're welcome.
This is
Awesome.
And I'm so glad to learn more about this program, and I will be looking it up. I'm going to be probably working with younger kids, but the school that I'm going to be working at is P through 20. So there is potential there for me to put in the word that get them when they're young, that yes, you are going to college.
Absolutely. And because there is, yes, I think that's the biggest thing. Students, those families with kiddos with intellectual disabilities just have never been told that. And it's fairly new in Colorado. So that financial preparation, that goal setting preparation and expectations are really big. So yeah, I would love to connect, Lois.
So is it like a bridge program transition that's usually telling families about these opportunities?
Yeah, that's really where we get the most connection, I think, engagement. Ideally, though, we want to be having those conversations earlier. So it's really trying to find the right connections in each district. So, and a couple of these resources on here. So every semester I do a mentorship program where I'll kind of pass it out to any constituents that know about us, saying, hey, if you have a student in high school with ID that's interested in college, they can sign up for a free mentorship program to talk with our students that are enrolled. So that's a good way to get into the schools. And I also am always willing to do presentations or connection meetings with teachers. So
fantastic. I have my oldest is graduating from high school this year. Yay. So I also have a freshman. So I will find out if there's, because they do have an SSN program at that high school. So yeah. I will see if they've got some connections, and then I'm switching districts when I switch to special ed myself. So I'll hopefully have some more connections for later down the line. So
that would be great. That'd be great. Well, I'd love to stay in contact and share out whatever I can. Yeah.
And so your email was on the first the Zoom link email?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it was. And I'm going to send you an email this evening with these slides and just some resources. Awesome. So you can just reply directly to that.
Fantastic. I'm so glad Dr. Candace told us about this webinar tonight, because I learned a lot. And
I'm so glad.
Well, I mean, every day I love working in SSN, and I just love seeing how far these kids grow and what they can do, and they keep surprising the heck out of me. So
yes, isn't that the best? And yeah, I love it. I love also seeing our communities be so surprised and like, wow, there really is not a cap on what these students are capable of doing. So.
Yeah. No, it's nice to see this. I remember way back when I went to college the first time, you should tell them if they want to go back. I'm 49.
Yeah, you always can.
I back.
Well, and what I love about these programs, these inclusive higher ed programs, is there's no age cap. So because it hasn't been an option for so long, so we've had students in their mid-30s that have come back and use these programs.
That.
So
that's fantastic.
Yeah. Access is just important for us, because building up those skills and like the repertoire of experiences is so essential for the types of jobs that they're going to attain and maintain when they graduate.
Yeah. No.